Smoke weed every day.
Hey.
Welcome back to I'm Sorry, Dad.
My name's Ryan Dune.
My name's Brandon Calvillo.
And we are the I'm Sorry Dad Boys. Woo!
God.
Oh, Brandon just became a sea lion. On this episode, we have the none other than the luxurious, the sophisticated,
The fabulous.
Matt Cutshall.
Matt Cutshall in the house. I'm just trying to be like a DJ on the radio.
Yeah, I wish you wouldn't. Matt Cutshall is a former Viner, one of our good friends. You know him from, Late Great Vine, Instagram. He's done some YouTube. He was big on Snapchat back before Snapchat died.
Done.
Is Snapchat dead, do you think?
Snapchat is, it's definitely not alive. I'll tell you that much. So it's dead.
It's not doing well, but I still get the occasional dick pic, so I appreciate that, everybody.
Well, dick pics never die.
Yeah.
Platforms where dick pics get sent die, but dick pics live forever.
They always have.
They always will.
Back in the Archangel times, archaic.
Back in the caveman era, cavemen used to draw pictures of their dick on the cave for the cave women to come in and see. So guys have been doing that for the hundreds of billions of years.
Thank you for bailing me out of that.
Of course.
Did not know what to say.
It's all right. I gave you a life raft.
You sure did, pal. And I appreciate it. Hey, guys, follow Matt Cutshall at Matt Cutshall everywhere. Although I think on Instagram, maybe. No, I think he's just Matt Cutshall.
It's just Matt Cutshall.
Just Matt Cutshall, goddammit. He's got a new...
It's not Matt Cutshall, goddammit. It's just Matt Cutshall.
Goddammit. He's got a new clothing line called 1,000 Miles. Check that out, too. It's all over his Instagram. Check him out. He's really hot. He's really funny. And we have a great conversation. We talk a little bit about his relationship with Arielle Vandenberg.
Yes, a love story for the ages that got me all... that story just lifted up my spirits, and I feel
really
like
did.
I'm going to have a great day.
Yep. And Ralph made an appearance here and there, our producer, Cat Ralph. And that's it. So, great episode. Before I go, I just wanted to say I have a show this Friday at the Ice House in Pasadena. I'm doing that with Christina Pajitsky. She's got a special on Netflix. It's going to be a good show. Friday. Just DM me somewhere. I'll let you know. Pasadena, California. And also keep rating and reviewing the pod. Check us out on YouTube, youtube.com/I'm Sorry Dad. All right. Enjoy this episode. Who's our guest, Brandy? I mean, VO. VO, who's our guest? Ooh.
Matt Cutshall.
One more thing. Shout outs to Malaysia.
Why?
We have people listening in Malaysia. We have people listening in almost every country in the world, but I shouted out Malaysia on my Instagram story. Then a bunch of them DM'd me saying, like,
We love you in Malaysia.
Yep, so I said, I'm going to shout you out. Shout outs to Malaysia.
Thanks, Malaysia.
All right, enjoy this brand new episode of I'm Sorry Dad.
With Matt Cutshall.
Ooh. Welcome back to I'm Sorry Dad. Hi, Brandon.
Hey, man.
And I want to say hello to our guest, Matt Cutshall.
Hey, guys, what's up? Guys, I'm excited to be on here because I am a true fan of the pod.
He really is.
And I have been listening, and I love it. And I think you guys are great.
Oh.
He's not just saying that, although I think he's a new fan. You recently listened to episodes, right?
I'm a new fan.
A new fan, okay.
My new favorite thing is falling asleep to you guys' voices.
All right.
Because I don't want to watch TV. The screen's too bright. So I'll literally just like pop on the pod.
Sure.
And listen to your jokes about ransacking buttholes.
Ransacking assholes.
And you guys' conversation is just good.
All right.
Thank you.
That's good. That's the best review for the podcast. We'll put you to sleep.
We'll put
I listen to podcasts when I go to bed every night. So I feel you.
Yeah, it's really good. You guys are crushing.
Guys, it's 11:11 right now. Make a wish.
I wish that Matt would be here. Oh, it already came true.
Oh, Brandy.
I wish to make out with Matt by the end of this episode. We'll see.
We can make that happen.
Let's make it happen.
Make it happen.
But they're not going to see it. No, they're going to see it.
Oh yeah, this is a visual thing now. We have a camera.
Yep, YouTube. YouTube.com/I'm sorry, Dad. Thank you.
At Matt Cutshall, follow me. YouTubers, I need help. I need help. Can we talk about that?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about engagement.
Speaking of needing help on social media,
About engagement.
so yesterday I shot an Instagram story. Pretty much over the last year, I get DMs all the time like, how do I become a social media star?
Oh, wait, let's just say, Matt, you are on Instagram and you make comedy skits and they do very well. They're well viewed.
We'll say that in the intro, though.
But I just wanted to do it again.
Sure.
So, Matt, that's who you are. You're a great friend of ours. Go ahead.
So thanks, Brandon. So as Brandon just said, so obviously you guys know we've been making videos together forever and probably been doing it for maybe 4 years now.
Almost 5.
Almost 5 years?
Almost 5 years.
Wow.
Tired of it. Go
So
on.
let's just say, I mean, it's kind of exhausting, but it's a lot of work, as you guys know. Yeah. And I started realizing I'm not growing. Like I'm growing, but hardly. Hardly getting a new audience.
Same.
And so I decided to look into it, and I did an Instagram story yesterday, kind of showing my fans like how hard it is to really gain an audience. And I was going to my metrics. You know how if you're verified, you can click on your metrics, and not everyone can see this, but you can kind of see who followed you from what video, what percentage of the audience doesn't follow you that happened to see your video because it got shared elsewhere, whatever. Mm-hmm. So there were videos that would get 1.7 million views, and 48% of that audience was a brand new audience that had no idea who I was. They just saw it randomly. And in that video, I gained 250 followers from a video where around 800,000 new fans saw me, but they just decided to watch, and 250 followers. Mm-hmm. Then the next one I did was a video that had 1 million views, and then I got 500,000 new eyeballs on that, people that had no clue who I was, and I got 119 followers from that.
Weird.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that, that's crazy.
Weird, yeah.
So either the Instagram metrics are off, but to be honest, it's real because I watch my audience and it just grows. Like it takes a couple weeks to go up another 1,000 followers.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
You know,
it takes, I feel like the reason why is because the stuff you make they're comedy skits. They're like 1 minute comedy skits that are shot pretty traditionally, where you're like playing characters and stuff.
Yep.
And so I feel like when 1 million people watch something like that, it's not like, because like with Vine, which is where we all came from, it was different where following somebody was really easy because it was like, you just click on someone's page and bam, it's right there. It's just like right there.
Yeah, that's
and also Vine was just like so easily consumable, and also it was a huge thing. So everyone's like, oh, I got to follow a bunch of Viners. But like Instagram, it's like Instagram's something you follow your friends on.
That's true.
It's a friend thing. With Vine, it was like, oh, I got to follow all these Viners because that's what this is. But with Instagram, it's like they can follow my family on. It's like Facebook.
That's true.
So when you see on Facebook, you see like a trending Facebook video that's about like, I don't know, like a baby seal like giving birth to a cat or something.
Yeah.
Like you don't follow that page. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
And so I think people kind of see your video. I'm saying people see your videos in a passive way.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you don't put a bunch of work into them and you're not hilarious, but I'm saying that it's just that the viewer sees it more passively. They're like, oh, I got to laugh. I'll keep going.
I agree 100%. Vine was a destination spot for funny 6-second videos.
Yeah, and
so
everyone
they
knew that.
wanted to find their next social media star or a Vine star. They wanted to say, oh, this is a new guy.
Yeah.
His videos keep popping up in the popular page. I'll follow them. So I understand that.
Yeah.
But there are Instagrammers who do get a huge following. And I've noticed it's mostly, to generalize, it would be Instagrammers who do a lot of ass and titties. Stuff like that.
Well, absolutely.
So
it's visual.
Are they getting followers for more ass and titties?
Yeah.
And you're just not. Me and you, I'd never have videos with ass or titties. It's a scientific term, titties. Never have those videos.
I mean, what does that tell you about the majority of the audience that's out there in the world? I was going to say on Instagram, but no, the world. Like a thumbnail of boobs will get you 1 million views. Versus to like if we had a really funny scene and like our thumbnail was just us doing something funny, like people don't want to see that.
I know.
You know what's so funny? This kind of brings me back to when you say like, a thumbnail of tits gets you 1 million views. I was watching porn the other day.
All right.
And let's just get it. Okay, I was watching porn.
What kind?
Ever since I like watching interracial a lot.
Yeah.
It's a huge, huge thing of mine. And so
wait, interracial. What sex is what race?
Usually it's a black girl and it's a white guy because I like to imagine.
I forgot you like black girls. I love that.
Yeah.
I heard that on the pod as well.
Yeah.
Huge fan.
It's a
Huge fan.
huge, loyal fan. Anyways, so I was watching my interracial gangbang the other day on Pornhub, and I was like, because I've been watching that since I was like 13. Like, I mean, not that specifically, but I've been watching porn on porn sites since I was 13. And I was just like, when I used to watch it, I was like, this is such a hidden thing that no one else does this. Like, no one else. I'm such a filthy guy. Yeah, like so secretive. Like, no one else has watched this video before. But then, like, I've been asking like my friends. I've been just talking more openly about sex and stuff, and like I'm like, oh yeah, I openly talk about watching porn, and they're all like, oh yeah, I've seen that video. It's like YouTube because like everybody watches porn.
Everyone does,
and that goes into what we're talking about with the tits. Like 1 million people watch it because that's you just want to.
Right.
I mean, a guy's like, ugh, tits. Like, I mean, not to generalize the male gender into something so like stupid, but
well, I mean, the truth
the majority
is,
at least.
And listen, I'm absolutely guilty of this. If a woman walks by, and it doesn't matter if she's even attractive to me or not, if she walks by and there is cleavage visible, and my eyes will just go there. It will just go there.
Sure.
I can't help it.
Sure.
Yeah.
So
I've had to stop. I usually like. It's funny. I'm cognizant of it, but I'm like not going to do that. Meaning, I'm not going to like look. I'm cognizant that it's there though, but I'm like, nope, not going to do that.
I'll do that all the time.
Yeah.
I've never been one to like if a girl walks by me, I won't stop and look back and check at her ass.
I've never done that before.
Even though I want to sometimes. I just want to look more.
Yeah,
But
it's not
I
polite.
don't. Because I don't want to feel like a creep. I don't want to look like a creep.
Hey, I'm right there with you, but there's a way to get around it. What you do is, if they're walking towards you, you turn the other way before they even get to you. So you start looking the opposite way, like you're checking out a street sign or a squirrel or whatever. Then they walk by and you have the view right there.
I think we have
Years of cutty creepery has brought him to this place.
And I think you just described a killer Instagram video, dude. How to check out girls without getting caught.
How about this? In the next 2 weeks, let's make it. Let's make it. Honestly, guys, let's make it and put it out there.
Sure.
And
Good
then
idea.
we'll revisit on the next pod and just see what we thought about it.
And we'll see just how many views this will be our biggest video. It'll be our worst video, but our biggest one because it'll start with the thumbnail will be a girl's ass. Bare ass. I say we go bare.
Bare ass, yeah.
I'm down for bare ass.
No, but I would be down to make that video. And that does sound like an actual video.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's a lot of it's just softcore porn. I've noticed on Instagram is what like really does well most of the time. You know,
But like,
or photos
listen,
of
if you want
beefcake.
porn, go to a porn site.
Yeah.
So why don't people just want like that's what throws me off is like you're on Instagram searching for like the girl that has her tits out. You can find that anywhere.
Yeah, like
Right.
I just said, I was
Google
like
that.
I was 13 when I first. I don't think I was even 13. I think I was like 9 when I first watched internet porn. Like it's so easy to find, and this was in 2004.
This is 2012.
This is 2004. I'm pretty sure. So like how nowadays, I'm just baffled by the amount of porn there is.
Endless.
So much. There's so much.
It's endless.
And back in the day, it used to be like that was a filmmaking industry. I just watched Boogie Nights, so that's why I'm talking
Oh,
like
yeah,
I know what I'm
it's
talking about. But it was like a filmmaking, like it was taken seriously as filmmaking. But now anybody can do it.
And there were big actors. There
Yeah.
were like there still are big
Yeah.
porn actors, but
Yeah.
like there were big actors back then.
Yeah.
Speaking of porn actors, I didn't know I was hanging out with one, but this girl DM'd me on Instagram, and she literally does not look like a porn star. Just like this cute kind of hipster hat, like the hipster poses, the whole thing. And I was like, oh, she's kind of cute. And she was like, hey, I love your stuff. And she had like 160,000 followers or so on Instagram. And so I felt safe kind of like meeting up with her. So I thought she was like just an Instagram girl, like not a porn star. So do you guys remember Casey James?
yeah.
R.I.P. Casey James.
Yeah.
Not in real life, but from social
Is it in
media.
real life?
No, not in real life.
Last time I saw him was at a 24-hour fitness, and he looked like we both looked disheveled, like running into each other, like, "Oh, Casey," and he was like, "Oh, Brandon." It was like, "How you doing?" He's like, "I'm fine." It wasn't like friendly, like it felt friendly,
Yeah.
but it didn't at the same time
Yeah.
because we were just so like, "Holy shit, you're still alive!"
Yeah.
for both of us.
Yeah,
You know,
he's like
he was like, "You're still alive."
because he doesn't watch social media and he's not even on it, so you can't see him.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's like you don't even know. But yes, Casey James still exists.
For those who don't know Casey, he's one of our friends who was a big Viner, but then stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Funny guy.
He had I think over 4 million followers on Vine, so he was big.
Then he went
one
up
of the
to
OGs.
a cave.
One of the OGs, indeed.
Yeah, he's a cave dweller.
But anyways, you saw him?
So anyway, me and Casey, I call Casey. Hey, this cute girl wants to go out. She's gonna bring her friend. Let's go on this like kind of double date thing.
Mm-hmm.
So we both go to the Laurel Tavern.
Mm-hmm.
Is that on Santa Monica? No, that's out here.
Oh, here,
Laurel
yeah.
Tavern?
Yeah,
Sure.
sorry, Laurel Tavern. Yeah, out here, and we're hanging out with her, and I end up me and Casey like we're doing probably like Snapchat. Then I don't do Snapchat anymore, but I was doing a Snapchat story, and she was in it, and I literally had 3 of my buddies hit me up and go, "You're with Jesse Andrews right now." And I was like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Is this bad? like who? Like, what's going on?"
Yeah.
And they're like, "Dude, she is like my favorite porn star," and I was like, "No, no way. I'm
Yeah.
pretty much on a date with a porn star right now." So then one buddy goes, "Are you?" He's like, "Are you hitting that?" And I was like, "No." I was like, "I'm literally on like a first hangout with her, and she just was
Yeah.
kind of cute, so I'm with a few friends." He goes, "Can I meet up with you guys?"
Oh my God.
And
That
I'm
night?
like, that night, and I was like, "I don't care," because at that
Yeah.
point I wasn't interested.
Yeah.
So I was like, "I don't care." So he meets up. And he's just so stoked and trying to play Mr. Cool. So
Yeah, like he doesn't even know who she is.
Exactly, trying to play
Yeah.
cool. But anyway, yeah. So that was very interesting to see that like she's a modern day porn star. And then I looked
celebrity.
her up and like she's a porn star.
Her merch sales are through the roof.
Her merch sales are flying.
Yeah.
Jesse Andrews. I don't know any porn stars.
I know a few.
Who?
I think there's what's since childhood. You want to go to childhood here?
I mean, let's make it quick.
Vanessa Blue, Candace Vaughn, Gianna Michaels. These are all porn stars that I grew up with that shaped me as a man.
Nice.
And
That shaped you as a
that
man.
shaped me. Those are the 3 I can think of.
Well, so Matt, this date, I assuming happened a while ago because you're in a committed relationship right now.
I know I cheat all the time.
Oh,
Yeah. Hopefully she doesn't hear this. No. This happened. This was probably, I don't know, maybe 2 years ago, maybe even longer, 2.5 years ago.
nice. I have a funny story that. Let's talk about Arielle. You're dating Arielle Vandenberg,
I sure am.
one of our good friends.
You guys have known each other for what, like 10 years?
We've known each other now for 11 years.
Christ.
The story's been 10 years until
Right.
now.
And I'm
Until today.
It's 11
And-
years now.
on behalf of your internet community, we are all thankful, and we all think it's a really good move for you guys to have this fake relationship in order to raise your engagement.
I do
So-
too. And to be honest, the engagement is better. My last post with her got like, 85,000 likes on a photo. So yeah.
Working out.
It's all working out.
Okay.
No, you've been courting her for years.
I have.
like a beast.
You guys.
Can I ask you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Was it a secret courting or what was it? Was it just like you guys were best friends and one day
Okay.
you saw her in the glistening sunlight and you're
No.
like, "Oh, what a beauty."
Truthfully, I've been in love with her for 5 years. But I wasn't quite sure how she felt about me, so I wasn't like constantly like, "I'm in love with you" or going for it like that. But it was very apparent that I loved her. And I think the audience from Vine
Yeah.
can kind of see that.
Yeah.
When we first started Vine, I wasn't in love with her. She was my good friend.
Yeah, when did it click? Since I met you?
To be honest,
Was I there? Were we there?
you guys were there.
When
you
did
guys
it
were
click?
part of it.
When did it click?
I'm gonna say that it clicked when probably halfway through our Vine career,
Okay.
right?
Sure.
So our relationship really grew from Vine, to be honest, because we loved it so much and just had fun making videos that in my free time I would pick her up or she'd pick me up and we'd jump in a car and go get coffee and hang out all day and shoot Vines. So quick little burp break, guys.
He's vomiting over
bubbling
this
up. Dear God.
over this romantic story.
No, so to be honest, I can't tell you, like, it wasn't like a day that happened. It just gradually, the more I hung out with her, I was developing feelings. And I believe I told her about a year and a half into me having these feelings, and I was very respectful about it because she had a boyfriend. So I didn't want to be like, hey, like, I know you have a boyfriend, but I'm in love with you. Like, you should break up with him.
Did you say you were in love with her?
No, I didn't.
How'd you
no.
phrase it?
Well, there were a few tiers of this.
Whoa.
The first time.
He cried.
Yeah. Pussy.
We've cried. We have cried
Oh,
moments.
tears. I was picturing the word tears in the wrong way.
Yeah, it was.
Cried. What else can you cry?
There are a few tears. Wait. I thought you were saying tears levels.
Oh, tears levels. That's what I'm saying.
That's what you were saying.
We thought you were talking
okay.
about tears, like crying.
That too. No, there-
pussy.
Yeah, what happened was my joke wasn't very strong, and no one got it.
And now we're here.
Now I want to cry.
Anyway, now we're
there-
here. Anyways, go ahead.
There were a few levels of your telling her.
Yeah, a few levels. And the first one was just kind of like being like, to be honest, I don't even think it was like, hey, I like you. I think it was just very apparent or very subtly done, or I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. I probably copied what Ryan Gosling would do in a movie and put my arm around her and like said something cute and like ran off and giggled.
I was about to say,
That's what he does.
beat his hand. I was about to say, beat his
exactly
hand
what
with
Gosling
a hammer.
does.
I knew.
That's in Drive. That's what Ryan Gosling did in Drive. I
did
thought you were
what?
going to say beat his hand with a hammer because that's what he did in Drive. Two great jokes in a row. Let's keep it going.
Let's keep it going.
Yeah, let's keep
It's romantic.
it going.
My first week after I moved to LA, I got a sense that you liked her.
Yeah.
Because here's one thing that happened. One of our friends, we haven't seen him in a while, but I was over his place, and he was like, "Oh, who do you know?" And I was like, "So and so." And I was, "Oh, I saw you do a video with Sonny and Arielle, Sonny Mabry and Arielle." And he was like, "I got to get their numbers." And I'm new in town. I was like, "Oh, cool, yeah. I'm networking. Sure, I'll help out my buddy here. Here's their phone numbers." And then like a day later, one of my first ever texts from Matt was like, "Rye!" Exclamation points. It's like, you can't just give out girls' numbers like that.
Yeah, I remember.
And I was like, oh, shit. And he was like, you gave your number to that dude. And I was like, oh, yeah. Thought he wanted to work with her. You're like, no, dude, no. Granted, he did want her number because I think he wanted to mate with her.
Yes. Yep.
But I didn't get that. And I was also just like, yeah, I'll help you out. I'm networking. And then I upset Matt. Like my first week here, I was like, fuck, I'm already ruining a relationship.
No, listen. You didn't upset me, but I just heard about it from Arielle, and I was like, okay. I was like, she didn't really know you that as well as me, so I was like, I'll say something just so he doesn't, give it out. But listen, what you meant to just connect two people networking, and that makes complete sense, and I've done that too. But the majority of times, especially like that I've learned with Arielle, is I even ask her now. It could be a friend of mine who is literally like a big director, and I still have to ask her because most guys are creepy and are just going for it.
Yeah, I think, and our friend was going for it.
Oh, he went for it.
In retrospect, he went for it.
Oh yeah, he went for it, and he actually wouldn't leave her alone, and she just stopped. She had to like start ignoring him.
Oh damn, my bad.
And that's my bad. That's why she was like, dude, like, I didn't want this dude to have my number because it wasn't.
Oh, fuck
yeah.
No, it makes total sense.
I still hold a grudge.
Yeah, I was caught in the midst of Hollywood. Just people.
Everyone here just wants to work with each other.
Yeah,
The stars are so bright.
this is normal, right? There's 3 people involved in this number sharing. I barely know any of them. Let's give out all their numbers.
You dunce.
You big crap head. Wait,
Anyways.
what did I want to? Oh yeah, and we can edit this part out. But there was one day I went over Matt's up the hill here when you lived over here, where I thought to myself, "Oh my God, Matt and I are like friends. We're friends. It's because you shared something with me."
Oh, go ahead.
what?
Go ahead. Say it. Say it on the pod.
This is during one of your sad times. I went over your place where we're about to make videos. You're like, Rye, I'm so happy. I'm finally over Arielle. I have loved her the past 2 years, but I'm over it, and I feel great.
Yeah.
You were telling me, I think you were trying to tell yourself that you were over her.
Well, truthfully, I was. I made myself come over. I made myself conquer the feelings and get over it, and I did. But they came back around when she came back around.
I see.
So yes, I truly believe that I had let her go, and I was like, you know what? I tried. She knows that I love her, and she wants to do her own thing, and I'm not gonna wait another few years.
Right.
So I'm gonna move on. And I felt amazing, and I did move on.
Oh, nice.
But then she came back around, and then I was like,
you just saw her one more time.
yeah. Okay, I wasn't over her.
She walked in the door after you said, I'm over her. And you're like,
then I
oh, fuck.
Then I started bawling. No, I still love you.
But yeah, that was a moment where I was like, oh, Matt's sharing something with me. This is cool.
Yeah.
And then turns out he was videotaping the whole thing for a reality series.
Yeah.
So he's just using me. Just
It
like
didn't get picked up. But thank you. Your reaction was great.
So I genuinely want to know what you said to Arielle. Like, what is the thing? Because
right.
you guys have been friends for 8 years.
Okay. Here was the big moment. Okay. There were a few moments of like, like, hey, like I got a crush on you. Or like those little things. But the big moment was okay, so at this point when I really was like, I need to go for this because she keeps going on these dates. I'd find out that she'd go on a date with this guy and this guy and this guy, and I was like, oh, like I need to be the guy. I at least need to try here, or I'm never gonna like forgive myself for not doing this. So I hit her up and I was like, hey, what are you doing tomorrow night? And she goes, I was like, okay, oh, sorry, can you go to dinner tomorrow night? She's like, no, I actually have something in Venice tomorrow night. And I said, okay, how important is it? Because I just needed to get this done. And she goes, well, I actually have a date. And I said, would you mind canceling your date to go on to go to dinner with me?
Oh.
And I was like, I need to talk to you. Oh. And she goes, oh, I'm pretty sure I can move it. Yeah, like let me move it. So she moved it, and the next night we went out, and we go to Katsuya here on what street is this? Why can't I think of this damn street?
Ventura,
yeah, the Katsuya here on Ventura. And I was nervous. I was very, very nervous because I was about to spill my guts.
Right. Yeah.
Like I was about to spill my guts. So I'm trying to be calm. We order appetizers, and then finally, like, I just had to say something.
Sure.
That wasn't small talk. I said, okay, listen, I've been noticing you're going on a lot of dates, and you know how I have felt about you, and I think you have a good idea that I have very strong feelings for you. Why couldn't we date? Why can't we do that?
Yeah.
And then she was kind of silent for a second, and she goes, I think about that all the time. So I was like, well, why not? Why don't we try it? And then it was a conversation led to her saying, I care about you and love you so much. I don't want to hinder our best friendship. I'm scared that like...
Classic.
Yes, classic. But I also understand it.
Yeah,
we had
sense.
something so good going on that she was like terrified of ruining that. And I kind of was a little bit too. Mm-hmm. And then I just kind of made it very clear that we need to try this, or I can't really see her every day like I have been. Uh-huh. And she pretty much was like, she didn't say yes then. She was just kind of like, I think about it all the time. And yes, I think that I do, obviously, I have feelings for you too. And I haven't wanted to really say anything because I didn't want to like lead you on in any way. And that night we ended up leaving after like that kind of conversation. We didn't resolve anything yet, but I drove her home. She reached over and grabbed my hand. We locked hands for the first real time. And I felt like a 5-year-old boy because it felt great. Yeah. Like literally just us locking fingers. I was like, oh God, this is nice. Because I've always reached for a hand joking, but like this is like the real one. And it was just kind of like we probably sat in the car for like 2.5 hours and shared more feelings and cried some more. And Brandon, you love this story.
This is getting me, dude. I like this a lot. Keep going.
Brandon's really excited.
I'm super into this. Keep going.
For those of you who can't see him, he's gripping the mic with 2 hands and grinning from ear to ear.
This is
as
great.
His eyes water.
This is great.
So it was real, and like I got my feelings off my chest, and she got her feelings off her chest, and we weren't sure really what the next step was because she had just got out of a very big relationship and she was heartbroken from it. And one of the things she said was that she was still heartbroken from her last breakup. And so what we decided to do is just say, listen, like, I want to respect you and I don't want to dive into anything, but I just want you to know how I feel, and that's how I feel, and I'm glad that you share the same feelings as me. So we kind of continue to just hang out as friends, but she would, stay the night at my house. We wouldn't hook up, but we'd go and drink, and I'd say just stay the night, and she'd stay over, and we'd kind of like cuddle. And there were a few different times where I kind of kissed her and wasn't sure if she liked it, so I just swiftly rolled over, and I was like, "Oh, what's going on?" So it was a lot of that. It was very strange for a while, and that's it.
Was there a particular moment where she was over it and she let you know, and you guys had like this movie moment, just making out?
What do you mean she was over it?
Like she was over her ex. She was like, "All right, I'm over him. I'm ready to fuck."
Were you about to take off to Denver and she runs after the plane?
So after that initial conversation and us kind of being in the zone where you know that you want to be more than friends, but you're not going for it quite yet because we're letting her do her thing and kind of heal from her heartbreak. Round 2 of this, I got fed up again because she was kind of doing her thing and having fun, getting over her ex-boyfriend. And I was like, okay, wait a second. I was just here a year and a half ago watching her go on these dates. Like, I can't have this. So finally, we had another conversation, and I had her come to my house. And, sorry. No. Sorry. She wanted to have the conversation this time.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Were you scared?
I was scared because this is when, and I believe this is when I said I was over her. I think I'm pretty sure if the story's right, this is when I was over her.
Oh, wow.
So she felt that, and she could tell. And to be honest, I wasn't being mean to her or anything, but I was just being more short. Like, I couldn't invest much more in her. I couldn't hang out with her and give her my attention and love, so she felt it of me being harsh.
And this was after your car talk and your hand
After my car talk, yeah.
Oh, damn.
So we had to let that kind of faded again because
Jesus.
I started getting more and more hurt that, like, I still can't be with her. That's when I was like, I have to just be done here. And obviously I told you at my house. And so finally, when I was done, and I feel like this is just how the world works in relationships, when I was finally checked out and done and not giving her what she wanted anymore, is when she was like, wait.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Yeah. I do love you, and I do need that. And to be honest, I'm not even throwing her under the bus. This isn't just her. This is how it works. Right. It's the same way with me in any past sort of relationships or dating. Like, you let the person go, and then they'll want you more, and then and vice versa. So anyway, she wanted to talk to me because I was kind of being very short with her and disconnecting. And then we had one last big talk. And it was in my garage at my place in where's that? West Hollywood, 3rd. That little the place that I moved down from the hills. Open my garage. We're sitting there. We're talking, and she wants to just say, "Hey, listen, like, I love you so much. I care about you so much, and I'm seeing us kind of drift away, and I don't like where this is going." And then I was pretty much like super bold. And I said, then why don't you be with me? I love you. You know that. So be with me. Like, let's not bullshit anymore. Let's not have these conversations. Then let's try something. Either we try something and we're together forever and it's amazing, or we don't and I have to let you go. And maybe when I heal and I'm dating someone else, we can be friends.
Right.
We both cried.
I'm going to put my other hand on the mic.
Yeah, other hand on the mic. Brandon's back to his excited position. We both...
Go on.
we both cried hard and long, and that kind of changed everything. But it still wasn't, though. We're together, but it was a very big moment of where we started getting like more romantic. So I think probably that next night, where we hung out through the night, and then I actually like kissed her, and it was weird because I've wanted to do that for like 5 years. And Ralphie,
Ralph's back. Producer Ralph is back. So if you want to see her, go to youtube.com/I'm sorry, Dad.
Ralph, stay
Ralph just interrupting with her presence.
Yeah.
Beautiful story, Ralph. You fucked it up. Go ahead.
So yeah. By the way, I'm sorry. This story is
No,
so
it's just
all over the
great.
place. But this is just the best. Yeah.
This is great. Please go on.
So I have my first real kiss with her. Kind of romantic. It was pushed up against my Audi. You know, not in a Harvey Weinstein way, but a very romantic, like Gosling from Notebook way.
Pushed up against my Audi. I love how you said the brand of the car.
That's right. It was pushed up against my Audi Q7 Turbo. No, but it was like a romantic moment where I was like, I'm gonna kiss her now. I think this is gonna happen, and kind of like kissed her, and she like leaned back against my car, and it was just it was the best feeling I've ever had in my life.
Nice.
To this day.
That's lovely.
That's great.
And then
To this day.
And then Fernando chimed in and was like, Matt, we gotta shoot.
No. Arielle chimed in. I was kissing Fernando. Yeah. Arielle chimed in and was like, excuse,
Gotcha. She's like,
Matt,
I thought we had a thing. We talked in the garage.
you said that you liked me and other women. I
And
thought.
I'm sure you guys bonded over. By the way, Fernando is one of our good friends. Pretty much your best friend. He helps you out with videos a lot. But I'm sure you and Arielle bonded over, just taking care of Fernando together. And like when you guys observe him playing with his toys.
Absolutely.
You'd be like,
Yeah, like Fernando was like our little adopted child. He was our sweet little Mexican baby, and you got to give him his little rattle and Mexican candy to suck on, and yes, parenting Fernando with Arielle brought us together for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And we have made some questionably racist videos together featuring Fernando.
I don't know if they're questionably racist, right? I'm pretty sure they're just racist.
No. Listen, some of them, yes. One of them specifically was when we adopt him, and he's wearing the wig, and he looks like Mowgli.
Yeah.
Wait, what was that one? And he goes, "Help me,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Save me from the
save
white
me
devil.
from the one."
That one was so good. He goes, because it goes, you guys are playing a gay couple, and you adopt a little, basically Mowgli.
Yeah.
And you guys are talking like, we love our son. Yeah, whatever. And then you pan over quickly to him. He goes, help me.
Help me.
Help
No.
me. And then you pan back to him.
That was one of the funniest vines I've ever seen.
Yeah.
That might be top 5 for me. That was
That
great.
was great.
Another great one was where I had sex with Brandon's corpse. Remember that one?
Never
I
posted that
don't think
one.
I let you post that one.
No, you didn't.
Because didn't I come have sex with him too?
Yeah.
You
On the
started-
video?
Yeah.
And then I was like, we probably shouldn't post this.
I think that was the funniest video you ever made, Ray. I really do. Can you
I
send
know.
that to me just so I can watch it?
I gotta find it. It must be somewhere.
Oh, man.
Discard it immediately.
Discard
Get
it.
rid of it.
Ralph's now gonna knock over the camera.
But can we get a little somewhat controversial and talk about the quote unquote racist vines?
Sure.
Sure.
I think if the person involved, like a Fernando, laughs at the idea of being like, let's just even say like the Mexican adopted child,
Sure.
it's funny. If it was a bunch of white guys all day making fun of a certain race, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
If it's
Yeah.
a bunch of black guys making fun of a certain race, it doesn't work. But like if we're all together in this and making fun of like how we are as people and like our stereotypes, it's just comedy. It's supposed to be funny. Like
Yeah.
it kind of blows my mind the people that find offense to it.
Oh God.
The people that find offense to it are white people. They're not the people that are they're not the Mexicans or whatever. They're the white people.
You're right.
Mexicans find it very, I mean, like, I'm only speaking from myself. Like, I think my dad loves, like, everything. My dad, well, when Vine was around, David Lopez was a very funny Viner. And he, my dad would always watch his shit and laugh, like, really hard whenever he played, like, a stereotype. Like, he would laugh really hard. And my dad's from Mexico. Like,
Yeah.
and he doesn't give a fuck. The only people that care are white people that feel guilty. That's the only thing.
That's it, right?
It's just guilty white people.
I know.
It's just the guilt of white people that keep going like, you know.
Well, more people get offended than not. It's not just white people.
I know, but you have to admit the majority of people who leave like comments and who write think pieces or whatever are just guilty white people.
It's privileged white people.
Privileged
Yeah, yeah.
and guilty.
Mostly
Yes.
privileged.
Yeah.
Because, dude, and like, not to be a sob story, but I grew up in a very like in a lower class family in a lower class part of town, and I grew up with ghetto white people, ghetto Mexicans, ghetto black people, ghetto any people. Like I'm like not specifically like as a whole, we were all just like somewhat ghetto.
Yeah.
Right.
You were
We
all
all-
just poor pieces of shit trash.
And no one gave a shit. Our type of comedy was like the racy comedy, where you make fun of like a black dude for doing this, or the stereotype of an Asian guy for doing this, or the stereotype of like an asshole white dude for doing this, and it's just funny. It's just comedy. The people that are getting offended, and Brandon, I think the majority, you're right. It's privileged white people that are like, we can't do that.
That's wrong.
It's wrong.
And I'm gonna write a think piece about why it's wrong. It's just I hate think pieces that are written by white people about race because it's like shut up. You know nothing. You know nothing about what you're talking about. You know nothing. You're talking from such a narcissistic standpoint. Thinking you know shit about how other races feel.
Only thing I could think of is the only way that I would listen to someone and be like, okay, they might have a point, is if they grew up around that and around it and with it. Ralphie's here. Like, yeah. Ralphie. Okay, I'll just say hi really quick, but I'm allergic.
Right.
So anyway, I wanted to blow off some steam because I watched the Dave Chappelle special, the new one, and it's just great.
It's great.
And Dave Chappelle is just a funny guy, and he's a comedian who just doesn't give a shit. And he goes out there and he makes fun of everybody. He was telling a story. He said, I was on stage, and front row there was a guy who looked like he could have been Middle Eastern, and then his wife was clearly Asian. He goes, I can tell because her face.
Yeah.
He's like, I can tell. He goes, so then I make this joke and I say, oh, excuse me, and he points out the fact that she's Asian, and then rolls into his joke about Asians.
Yeah.
She was so offended at the stereotypical joke that she actually got up and left, and like in the middle of the audience, like turned around and said, I'm never coming back to one of your shows, yada, 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 because he made fun of an Asian person. But she was fine to laugh at every other joke until it hit Asian. Sure. And it's like, are you serious?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on? We're all there to laugh with each other. Yeah. That's why you're at a comedy show.
Well, I mean, like, there are certain, like, there's that classic case of Michael Richards, the guy who played Kramer on Seinfeld. Like, what he did, he just blasting, like, he was straight up just yelling at black people in the audience, calling them the N-word. Like, straight up.
I heard about that.
Oh,
right?
yeah. It was like 2006.
I didn't
That's, like,
see
infamous.
the clip. So that was at a stand-up show?
That was at a stand-up show, and he apparently, I don't know what was happening. There was like an altercation between Michael Richards and the black guys, but he was just like hatefully. So like that's clearly not okay. Clearly, but like there's a certain, when you walk into a comedy, anything that has to do with comedy, you're like, okay, this is comedy. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. It's nothing's supposed to be taken too seriously.
Yep.
And I know like there's so many white people that just write these think pieces that are like, comedy, can it go too far? Is it just a mechanism used for racists to get their racist thing across? I'm like, no. Not usually.
It's not.
Usually it's not. I mean, like it's usually it's just everyone in the room making a collective decision like, hey, everything's stupid. So let's just make fun of it all.
Yes.
That's what it is.
That's
it's
all
like,
it is.
It's everything. It's either everything is off limits or in a comedy show or in comedy. That's always how I saw it. It's like everything's off limits or you cannot joke about anything. You can't have one or the other. You can't cherry pick what that Asian woman did. You can't cherry pick what you're offended by.
I agree.
It's not fair.
It's not fair at all.
But I don't know.
Well, that being said,
Well, I agree with you.
do you agree too?
People be too sensitive. I can't talk.
I feel like it always
can't
goes
either.
to, it's
Don't worry
such a
about it.
weird time because I listen to so many podcasts and I listen to I watch a lot of like
Racist stuff.
no, I mean I watch a lot of arguments and stuff, like videos on YouTube that are, I guess you could say, are like, I wouldn't say they're think pieces. They're more like just arguments between two people. And it always goes back to like, man, things are so like politically correct nowadays. It's just such a weird era.
It's a weird time, man.
It's a weird time. Like, and it always circles back to how sensitive, because everyone's cracking jokes, but then they have to like undercut it with like, oh shit. There's always that fear in the back of your mind when you make a joke now. It's like,
I know.
Is this going to lead to a think piece by some white journalist?
It's such a weird time. Talking about how weird times are and speaking about the Golden Globes, I'm sure you guys watched that. But one thing that stood out, and let me first add, I'm in complete support of women and that they should be equal. And I absolutely,
Me too.
I want to,
Yeah.
I want to, I want to see any type of person win an award, whether
Yeah,
you're
it
black,
doesn't matter.
Asian, woman. I don't care. Like, I like people are creative and they deserve to be noticed. But like, what really pissed me off is when Natalie Portman was presenting the best director,
Yeah.
and she made a joke about and the
It wasn't even a joke, it was just
she
a
goes
stab.
and she goes and what was it for the
Best
and the best director, all male. Is that what she said?
She said all male. And the
Yeah.
best all. And here are the 5 all male nominees.
And here are the 5 best all male nominees.
Yeah.
And then leans back and it's like, listen, I know you're upset about what's going on, but these guys are talented men who have done nothing wrong and worked their asses off to get here.
Yeah.
Don't discredit them.
Right.
Did you see their faces afterwards?
It just was so,
they
it
were
was
all
so
awkward.
awful. It was like I mean, granted, award shows don't really mean anything anyways, but to them it probably does. It's probably, to make a movie is so hard.
Yeah.
A movie getting made is a miracle, and they not only got it made, but it got recognized for being a great film. And they're in a place where people are recognizing that hard work, and it's immediately disregarded because they have cocks. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, I mean, it's like, I get it. I get that Greta Gerwig, who directed Lady Bird, I don't know if anyone even saw Lady Bird. Lady Bird was fantastic, and Greta Gerwig absolutely deserved to be on that in the best directors. I don't know why she wasn't, but she should have been.
Yeah.
But like, but to completely disregard all those other people's hard work
I know.
Yeah.
is just so, it's just such a childish, Natalie Portman's thing was childish.
It was very
condescending.
childish.
It was childish.
And also,
I was like, I hated her in that moment. I was
did
like,
too.
fuck you. Like, I get everything else. I get everything else that you're doing, like that the award show is. It's like supporting women, cracking all these jokes, trying to make things feel comfortable because it's such a weird time in Hollywood.
Yeah.
But like, don't do that. That's just insulting to the people who worked
That was
hard.
too- I
and not
agree.
only the directors, but the people who worked. The movies are made by hundreds of people.
Yes.
You're insulting the other people too. I don't know.
and
I agree.
And also, it comes down to numbers too. I'm sure there's a lot more male directors in show
There
business
are.
than women. Granted, that is in large part due to women's oppression over the years, but there's a reason why it was all males. That being, there's much more male directors. Also, who's nominating people? I'm assuming it's
Bunch of old white dudes.
right, old white dudes.
Yeah.
So naturally, we want to like choose something like, hey, that guy's like me. Choose him.
Yeah.
So it's like in our instincts to be like, what do I want? Oh,
That's
he's
true.
like me.
It reminds these guys of them growing up, or a love story that they may have experienced, or that I get.
Well, here's the thing. When Natalie Portman said that thing about the male, I felt like she was trying to take a dig at, because those guys didn't choose themselves to be in those nominees. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a bunch of old white dudes that have this oppressive mindset that like, oh, I only want like men, because I'm not going to have some broad directing a film, like old white thinking.
Yeah.
And she should be making fun of that. And I think that's what she was trying to do.
Yeah.
But it just made it seem like she was saying, fuck you to all the nominees.
I agree.
Yeah.
Not the systemic kind of, the guys, the old crackers that are all making these calls.
I agree.
It's like, and I don't know. I was actually upset. I was upset that Greta Gerwig did not get picked.
Yeah.
Lady Bird was fantastic. Like, it was, I don't know.
I'm gonna see. I haven't seen it yet, but I do hear it's great, and
yeah.
and it's maybe she does deserve to be up there.
She does.
Absolutely.
It's mind blowing to me that she's not up there. But I don't know. It's
There's
the whole
also
white
there's
dudes.
also a chance, and by the way, I don't know. I'm not that educated on her. I don't know that much about her, but there is a chance that I saw that the men were quite older that were nominated, and you gotta kind of you gotta build your credibility in Hollywood, and it's years and years and years, and the people who also nominate you are probably friends with the Steven Spielbergs of the world. Do you know what I'm saying? Like they're
Sure.
friends. They know each other, and like it's like Steven Spielberg's been in the business as a legend for years. You know, he's going to be nominated again. So, but anyway, to sum that up, Natalie did not do the right thing there, in my opinion.
It was like a bunch of, this is what it felt like. It was like a bunch of women were there, and they were all like making a stance and making a political statement, and then a child got on stage.
Yes.
And a child was like, and the male nominees.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck off, you child.
Yeah.
Be a woman about this. Be like
I know.
Oprah.
I
like,
know.
Be like fucking, like that's a woman, not a fucking I don't know.
Oprah is a woman, isn't she?
She's a woman.
She is a woman.
She's a woman, powerful woman.
Oprah for president.
like
We
her.
got to wrap up soon, but
Yeah.
Matt, tell us about your clothing line.
Want me to tell you?
It's called 1,000
Okay, so
Miles.
since we got about 5 minutes I can see here, I'll make this fast. Everyone's doing merch. I didn't want to do the typical merch. It's not my audience. We've talked about how I don't have that 13-year-old audience. I have more of a mature audience. And I wanted to create a brand that they would like to wear. That's not like Matt Cutshall, selfies first, or like, whatever that stuff is. I just didn't want to do that. So this brand that I came up with is called 1,000 Miles, and it's meaningful to me because 1,000 miles is the exact distance between Portland, Oregon, where I grew up, and Los Angeles. So there's a palm tree for Southern Cali, and there's a rose for Portland, Oregon, where I'm from. It's called Rose City, and the brand is it's just kind of cool and simple. And I wanted to make sure it was like high quality garments, and we donate 10% of all sales to a charity. Right now, we're collecting the money, but it's not like every single hat that you buy goes to a very specific charity. We're working with the Bow Foundation on multiple charities to help. So it's kind of that's the exciting part is I get to like at the end of the month of sales, I get to see how much money we have and kind of like look into charities and who we can give it to. So there's definitely a great cause behind it, and I wanted to put out something that was more meaningful than just my face on a T-shirt, and that's what it is.
Nice.
It's that simple.
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
It's not that exciting, but it's cool.
I like it. I like
like
hats. Can I have a hat? Did you bring us free
Oh,
merch?
I didn't bring merch. I actually.
all right.
The funny thing is, I was going to, and I forgot a lot of things, including that. But
all
yes,
right.
you get a hat. You get a tee.
I get a tea?
Yeah.
A tea.
I don't have many teas,
You guys
man.
make tea too.
But
then,
I do. The thing is too, like I don't like. It's very simple stuff that I would wear. I wanted to make something that I would wear, and my followers always ask, "Where do you get your T-shirts? Where do you get your hats?" So I was like, "Well, I'm just making my own."
Sweet.
That was it.
I like it. 1,000 miles.
1,000 miles.
Well,
How should we close this?
how should we close this? Should we close it with clickbait, like an argument that I can put on Instagram?
Yeah.
Fuck you! Here, yell at me.
Fuck you.
Fuck you, dude.
Fuck
Are you
you.
kidding
No.
me, Rye?
No, I'm
why
not
would
kidding
you?
you.
You
Why
giving
would
me
you
lip?
even bring that up?
Because the people need to know.
Well, it's not right. It's honestly wrong.
Well, I'm posting it.
You
No,
act
don't
like
post
don't
it.
post
No,
this.
no. Hey, don't post this. This is too risque and scandalous to be on the internet. And if anybody watches this, they definitely shouldn't
Put your
watch
pants on. Brandon, put your pants on if you're going to talk like that.
it. Oh, jeez.
Okay, now it's just hitting my face.
Well,
Now this is...
Boom. Clickbait.
All right,
This
clickbait.
episode just went viral. And I haven't even posted it. Matt, you have 60 seconds to be on the road. Matt's going to leave at noon sharp.
Oh.
all right.
Let's just end it.
Let's end it.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks for doing
I'm a
it.
fan of the pod. I'm now on the pod, and I'm even more of a fan of this episode because I'm on it.
Dope.
Oh, yeah. Me too.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Yeah.
you get a free hat. Unfortunately,
Thank
you
you.
couldn't
Can't wait
provide
to
that for us.
Get free
Like,
ad.
let's make I'm Sorry Dad hats, please.
Hats. I can't picture that being a good one. I mean, who buys hats? Who would sell hats?
I don't
you
know.
What?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do.
We want to make T-shirts, though.
make
Just kidding.
t-shirts.
I'm sorry, I had hats.
All right, guys, make sure to follow me at Matt Cutshall, Cutshall. Please like my videos. I'm really struggling right now and could use a lot of help. So any
really
like
struggling.
counts. Thank you.
All right. I'm sorry, Dad.
I'm sorry,
I'm sorry,
Dad.
too.
Sorry, Dad.
Wait, let Matt get a clean one.
All right.
I'm sorry, Dad, too.
Wow. That's a dream come true of his. To say that.
Sorry, Dad.
Bye.